Former AEW star Brian Pillman Jr. reportedly has a deal in place or is in the process of being finalized to sign a contract with WWE, marking another AEW star jumping to the company. Details on that, plus does LA Knight have attitude issues backstage that could prevent him from getting a major push in WWE? And what is Vince McMahon's current perception of the self-proclaimed megastar? Becky Lynch, could she be taking time off after SummerSlam? We've got details on that. Dominic Mysterio makes history across WWE television this week. An update on the plans for the United States Championship on SmackDown, and Shotzi debuts her new look over the weekend at a WWE live event. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of World Wrestling Entertainment. Let's start off talking about former AEW star Brian Pillman Jr., heavily linked to possibly be signing with WWE. Of course, we know that he was at the Performance Center recently. Turns out he was there for a tryout. And one of the more hotter free agents in wrestling right now appears to be off the market. Brian Pillman Jr. has been a free agent since his AEW contract expired earlier this month, and it was reported that he had been training and spotted training at the WWE Performance Center. That report was on July 13th. Following his AEW departure, it was reported that WWE had an immediate interest in Pillman and that his visit to the Performance Center was said to be a get-to-know-you type of meeting. Now, earlier this week, a report came out that said that WWE was unlikely to sign Brian Pillman Jr. until the merger with UFC under the Endeavor umbrella was completed. Well, we've got a bit of an update on this because on Saturday, Brian Pillman Jr. participated as part of Captain's Corner virtual signing. During the session, he teased a huge opportunity that is in the works, stating, quote, "It's a tough business and it's a long road to the top if you want to rock and roll. Being here today and getting to reminisce about some of the past moments of my career has really cheered me up and put me in a position where I'm excited for the future. There is a lot to come. I can't speak on it right now. It's kind of in the works. I have a huge moment, a huge opportunity coming up in my career to continue making memories, to continue coming up with new gear ideas and sharing my vision of pro wrestling, my version of pro wrestling with you all. Thank you for supporting me." Now, in an update to the situation surrounding Brian Pillman Jr. and his WWE status, according to Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net, sources have told him that a deal reportedly is in place or is in the process of being finalized before it can be officially signed. Sources have also indicated that Pillman Jr. will indeed be moving to Orlando, Florida by the end of August, where he will report to NXT and begin training at the WWE Performance Center full time. It should also be noted that Pillman Jr. has cancelled non-wrestling commitments later this year, which also had significant ties with AEW talent and coaches. Of course, if we get any more confirmation on this, we'll let you know. But what are your thoughts on Brian Pillman Jr. seemingly being on the verge of signing with WWE? Let me know your thoughts about that in the comment section below. Now, let's talk about LA Knight. And everyone's wondering what's stopping LA Knight from getting this big push on television. He's getting major reactions, huge merch sales, but there feels to be something of a disconnect when it comes to him getting big victories and big storylines and big positions on WWE TV, specifically SmackDown right now. Well, of course, LA Knight has very quickly become one of the most popular stars in WWE, with the crowd reactions for him getting louder and louder as the weeks go on. When LA Knight failed to win the Money in the Bank briefcase in London, Triple H had said that good things come to those who wait in the post-show media press conference. This led to many believing that Knight would win the Fatal 4-Way on this week's edition of SmackDown, which was ultimately won by Rey Mysterio, thus advancing the WWE Hall of Famer to the final of the US Championship #1 Contenders Tournament. While some fans are waiting to see what happens next with LA Knight, others believe that WWE is holding back the self-proclaimed megastar. However, in a new report from Wade Keller of PW Torch, Knight's rising crowd reaction has landed him on the radar of both Paul Levesque and, more importantly, I guess, Vince McMahon, with him being a candidate for a big push later this year in the summer and into the fall, with one caveat. The report notes that while Vince McMahon has grown to become a fan of Knight's, he has a long-running reputation of rubbing people the wrong way behind the scenes and just being, quote, bad at backstage politics, end quote. Those that know him well tend to like him, with some of them speaking up on his behalf when he gives that bad first impression. The report notes that if Knight's push is not sustained, even if the crowds remain on his side, it will likely be because he mishandled himself backstage in a way that would have caused him to lose the support of key people in the company with influence over his push. So what are your thoughts about this? Possibly a situation where LA Knight's backstage reputation, his backstage attitude, could prevent him from being pushed in a major way. Is this the kind of backstage political BS that can ruin WWE, or does LA Knight need to get his attitude in check more? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. Really interested to know what you guys think about this too. Now let's talk about Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, is she taking some time off after SummerSlam? Probably not, but you never know. There's been a rumor killer on a top WWE star potentially taking time off from the company after SummerSlam. Heading into the show, Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus are seemingly set for another match in Detroit on August 5th. Following the show, there had been rumors that Becky could potentially be set to take some time off from the company. In an update from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, they have been told and they are confirming that was not the plan, at least as of Money in the Bank weekend. Of course, Becky is set to face off against Zoe Stark on next week's episode of Raw, that being tomorrow night, where she'll be forced into getting a tattoo saying "Thank you, Trish," should she lose the match. Becky recently revealed that she had a cyst removed prior to her match on Raw, with the match still going on as advertised. Becky would go on to lose that match to Starks thanks to interference from Trish Stratus. Despite Becky not taking time off from the company, several top stars are not advertised for Payback and Fastlane after SummerSlam. Whether or not Becky will be part of that, we'll have to wait and see. Now, a bit of an update when it comes to Dominic Mysterio this week. He's had a busy week and certainly a historic week as well. WWE superstar Dominic Mysterio has made history this week with his matches across Raw, SmackDown, and the NXT brands. Dominic has had a busy week. The rising star wrestled on TV 3 times this week, picking up the NXT North American Championship along the way. The title win was a significant one for Mysterio, with it being his first singles title in the WWE. Mysterio's achievement list doesn't end there, with the Judgment Day member becoming the first star to wrestle main event matches on Raw, SmackDown, and NXT in the same week. Several other stars have wrestled across all 3 brands in one week, including Bayley, Mercedes Moné, but Dominic Mysterio is the first to have a trio of main event matches. On Raw, Mysterio teamed with Damian Priest to unsuccessfully challenge Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships. In the main event of NXT, of course, Mysterio pinned Wes Lee to win the NXT North American Championship. In the final match of SmackDown, Mysterio defended his title against Butch of the Brawling Brutes. While the Rules of Engagement segment ultimately was the last thing on the live broadcast, it was noted on commentary that WWE recognized Mysterio vs. Butch as the main event match, as it was the final bout of the show. Therefore, Dominic Mysterio made history this week. Not bad for Dirty Dom. Now, a lot of people talking about the United States Championship, what the plans are for it. Are we going to get a US Championship match at SummerSlam? Maybe not. Over the past few weeks on SmackDown, a tournament to determine the next challenger for the US Championship has been taking place. We now know that Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar will face off in the tournament finals. Mysterio scored a victory over LA Knight, Sheamus, and Cameron Grimes in a 4-way match on the July 21st show to advance to the finals, while Santos Escobar defeated AJ Styles, Butch, and Grayson Waller to earn his final spot. With all the LWO finals set for next week's edition of SmackDown, many have speculated that the eventual US title match will take place on SummerSlam in Detroit at the beginning of August. But per Dave Meltzer, current plans don't call for a US title match to be added to the August 5th Premium Live event. In the July 21st Wrestling Observer Daily Update, Meltzer noted that as of earlier this week, the US Championship bout was scheduled for an upcoming edition of SmackDown and not SummerSlam. It was noted that while this could change, the eventual title match taking place on SmackDown was the original plan. Santos Escobar has a lot of momentum heading into the tournament finals after pinning US champion Austin Theory in a non-title match on the July 21st show. Rey Mysterio has other titles on the mind, with the Lucha Libre legend telling Rising Star that he wants them to defeat Dominic Mysterio for the NXT North American Championship too. Again, a bit of an update has come from the live events over the weekend. The lineup for Saturday, that being yesterday's house show Mexico City, may have just revealed WWE's plans for the next US title feud. At the event, Santos Escobar challenged for Austin Theory's US title in front of his home country crowd, but ultimately came up short. As WWE has previously used the house show circuit to test out rivalries before bringing them to TV, this bout could indicate that WWE is planning to have Escobar continue his rivalry with Austin Theory on TV, fueling speculation that Escobar will win the US Championship Invitational. Rey Mysterio was actually also on the card. He competed in the main event against Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Of course, Mysterio was ultimately defeated following interference from his own son, Dominic Mysterio. Finally, a bit of an update when it comes to Shotzi. We know she's had a change of look recently on WWE television, but now we've seen her in person for the first time. After confronting Bayley backstage on the June 30 show of SmackDown, Shotzi had some of her green hair chopped off by Bayley and Io Sky of Damage Control. Shotzi then made an appearance via video on the July 14 edition of SmackDown, shaving all of her hair off as a storyline act of defiance. While Shotzi hasn't wrestled on TV since cutting her hair, she has now debuted her new look at a house show. During the July 22 live event in Mexico City, Mexico, Shotzi and Charlotte Flair challenged for Asuka's WWE Women's Championship in a three-way bout. Obviously, you can see on the screen right there images of Shotzi's new look. Of course, it's actually in solidarity with her sister, who is currently battling cancer. But there you go, guys. It's the latest WWE news for you. Be sure to smash the like and the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.